Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Amazing Boy 609, and today we're going to be reacting to 10 times Hulk Hogan was caught lying for no reason. So this guy's a liar now. Who saw that coming? I didn't see that coming. Did you guys see that coming? Let me know in the comments. Now, we all know about the story of him lying and all that, but I mean, I'm aware of his lies, so I was being sarcastic. I was actually aware of his lies, so don't worry about that. But yeah, obviously, you know, if it doesn't benefit him, it doesn't work for me, brother. What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? So let's find out what this liar's gotta say, boy.
Hulk Hogan was caught lying on camera. Number 10, the mysterious black eye. Now, although Hulk Hogan walked out of WrestleMania 9 as WWE Champion, the event was responsible for highlighting that Hogan was an individual who was going to play backstage politics to get his way. It's common knowledge that Hogan politicked his way into the main event matchup, and it was his call to walk out of the event as WWE Champion.
Not surprising.
This blatant abuse of power from the Hulkster, the event also exposed him as yet again being a liar. Hogan showed up to the event with a black eye, and Hogan would inform everyone that he had been in a skiing accident. Hogan even stuck to his fictional story in an interview with Michael the Voice Schiavello, saying, "I jumped on his ski, and the first wave I jumped over, it nosed on me, so it threw me over the front of the ski, and I had a life jacket on, so I tried to jump down in the water, but the life jacket brought me up, and the ski hit me in the face. It broke my orbital socket." Whilst Hogan has stuck to this story for many years, it's believed to be totally made up. Numerous wrestling names, including Jim Cornette, have stated that Hogan was punched in the face by Macho Man Randy Savage, and that's how his black eye surfaced.
So it turns out he didn't have any skiing accident. He just got punched in the face by another wrestler, who happened to be Randy Savage, who cared a lot about his woman. Hulk Hogan, man, the same guy that ruined Bret Hart's moment at whatever WrestleMania just said. And I don't know, man. I mean, is it really surprising? Is it really surprising? If he's gonna protect himself, you get what I mean? It's like, what can you say?
Brock Lesnar following Lesnar's UFC run. When Hulk Hogan appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience, fans were awaiting Hogan's outlandish stories, and one of Hogan's stories was related to WWE legend Brock Lesnar. On the podcast, Hogan claimed that he wrestled Lesnar following his UFC run coming to an end. This was a ridiculous claim. Whilst Hogan—
What the fuck? So you're telling me that he wrestled Brock Lesnar after his UFC run? Are you... What? Did I hear that right, or am I just tripping, bro? What?
Coming to an end. This was a ridiculous claim. Whilst Hogan did it,
UFC. This guy, I'm pretty sure he was long retired before this even happened. Like, I think he had a match in TNA, but really?
Indeed, wrestle Lesnar. Their match took place in 2002, and this was the number of years before Lesnar would even step foot into the octagon.
That's what I'm saying.
Did you know you can get this 146-piece?
By the time Lesnar had finished up in the UFC, Hogan had retired, and Hogan wasn't even in WWE when Lesnar returned to the company in 2012.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, literally, he wasn't even in the company. So he thinks it benefits him. But hey, listen, I mean, if he lied back then, no social media. Let me tell you right now. He does it right now, and everybody knows he's lying. There's a big difference, I tell you. Why does he feel like he has to lie? If it doesn't benefit anybody else, but it benefits him, it works for him. If it doesn't work for him, and it works for everybody else, that doesn't work for me, brother.
12.
Ridiculous.
Number 8. Hulk Hogan the writer. Hulk Hogan's autobiography makes for interesting reading, and one of the things Hogan discusses in his book is his failed venture into Hollywood. In his book, Hogan claims that the scripts for the movies he worked on were such a mess that he basically rewrote them himself. Despite this claim, Hogan was never given a writing credit for any of the movies he worked on, so this is without a doubt another one of Hogan's porkies. Nobody in Hollywood has ever even corroborated Hogan's side of the story, and this is another bizarre lie from the Hulkster, as it can easily be disproven. Number 7.
It's just crazy. It's like, is it because, like, obviously back then you wrestled so many times, right? And it's like, obviously he was part of the era where you wrestle, like, you're on the road for like 300 days plus, right? and you wrestle way more back then than it is now. Is it just because like that plays a part in his, in his mind, even if he's not trying to lie, or is it just him just being selfish? I think it's a combination of both, but him being more selfish. He's been like that back then. Why would he change now? It's ridiculous, honestly.
400 days a year? The WWE Hall of Famer seems to have an odd perception of time, as he once claimed that he wrestled 400 days a year. Of course, there's not 400 days in a year, so this was either a case of Hogan being unaware of how many days in the year there are, or Hogan's concept of time is completely different to everyone else's. Hogan would claim that due to traveling between Japan and the USA so often, the difference in time zones meant that in total, he would have worked 400 days a year. Whilst this might sound like Hogan is joking, he was being completely serious and legitimately believes that he once worked 400 days in a 365-day calendar year. Number 6, the broken rib. Even during the second WWE run, Hogan was prone to making up fictional stories to present himself in a positive light. Hogan would claim that in his classic match with The Rock at WrestleMania 18, he suffered a broken rib. However, when Hogan appeared on the Bill Simmons podcast, he shared a story which completely contradicted this claim. Hogan would claim that he suffered a broken rib in a 2002 house show match against Rikishi, and this match came before WrestleMania 18. It's extremely telling when an individual can't keep up with their own lies and nonsense.
Like, it's just ridiculous the amount of times that this guy lies and it feels like it benefits him, and even if he knows he gets caught, I don't think he even cares at the end of the day. Like, for him to even do it the amount of times, you just have to wonder why he even does it in the first place. It's like, obviously it benefits him, right? And hopefully there's some stories in WCW where, you get what I mean. Like, that's the most obvious of obvious, but...
Number 5, his version of the Montreal Screwjob. Although the Montreal Screwjob in 1997 aired live on pay-per-view and was seen by millions of fans, Hulk Hogan had a different account of the action. Speaking on a radio interview in Australia, this was Hogan's word-for-word account of the infamous incident. Well, Bret Hart was supposed to lose to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, whatever the hell it was. 16 or 17, I don't know, where all the fans were chanting Bret screwed Bret. Bret told Vince McMahon, "I'm not losing to Shawn Michaels in Canada." Shawn Michaels went out there and pulled a fast one on Bret Hart and held him down and pinned him, and Bret couldn't do anything about it. And the so-called excellence of execution, who was supposed to be the greatest wrestler of all, little teeny Shawn Michaels held him down and embarrassed him though. Bret Hart was being a horse's ass, saying he wouldn't lose, and Shawn Michaels pinned him anyway.
Interesting that Hulk Hogan actually says that, Shawn Michaels won at Survivor Series 97 by pinning Bret Hart. That's really interesting. I didn't even know that. With my own eyes, I thought that he won by a submission where Bret Hart didn't even tap, and the plan was for him to lose anyway, so that's why they call it the Montreal Screwjob. They screwed him basically, and he lost the title that way. I didn't know that he got pinned. I don't know. My mind's just losing right now. Hulk Hogan sometimes just make me think, like, what's going on? Like, did I see the same thing he's seeing right now? Honestly, I don't know. It's one of those stupid things.
Of course, this isn't remotely true.
You know what's so stupid as well? Sorry to keep talking, but you know what's so stupid as well? That he tries to... This one in particular as well. It's so stupid that he even tries to lie about this one when everybody, when I say everyone, I mean everyone at the time, even the video clips, you can clearly see how Bret lost that match. And he still has the audacity to lie like as if we're blind. What's up with that, man? What's up with that?
It's possible that Hogan has never even seen footage of the Screwjob, as it's kind of insane he's trying to gaslight the radio host into believing his version of the story. Number 4, he was almost in Metallica. One of the most outlandish Hulk Hogan claims came when he was interviewed by The Sun in the UK, and he claimed that he once auditioned to be in Metallica to replace Cliff Burton. Howard Stern caught wind of this insane story, and the next time Metallica drummer Lars Ulrich was in the studio, Stern directly asked him about the story. The drummer had never even met Hogan, and naturally, the claims had zero credibility. In a rare move, Hogan was actually called out on this lie during an interview with Noisy, and Hogan drastically altered the narrative he had started. I heard that.
And welcome back to This USA Office Plan.
that Metallica needed a bass player, and brother, I was writing letters, made a tape of myself playing and sent it to their management company. Kept making calls trying to get through. I tried for 2 weeks and never heard a word back from them either. I was hoping for a call from them but never got one. All the haters were like, you never auditioned for Metallica. Of course I didn't, but I tried. Number 3, his WrestleMania 30 slip.
So he basically backtracked what he said. Of course I didn't, but I tried. But yet you said you did. Make it make sense, man.
Up. It was a wonderful moment at WrestleMania 30 as The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan all shared a special moment in the ring. Unfortunately, Hogan just couldn't resist sharing nonsense about the segment. Hogan would claim that he had zero idea that The Rock and Austin were coming back out there to share the ring with him, and Hogan was caught out in this lie as the WWE's team captured a special moment between the three legends backstage before the segment, so Hogan was evidently aware of the scripted plans.
Why even lie about this one as well? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were clearly backstage, like you just said in the video, before they even went out. And it's like, oh, I didn't even know they were even going to come out. Honestly, this is like 2014, because I remember I even brought this pay-per-view behind my mum's back, and she wasn't happy when she found it out in her fucking bank account or whatever, statements, right? And it's like, shouting at me. Aah! But literally, even lying about this one when it's so modern, it's not like 80s 90s, like this is like 2010s, right? And he's still lying about this one. Man, brother, fix your mind, okay? Honestly, just fix your mind. It makes no sense whatsoever why you would lie about this one. Only if it benefits him, and he didn't even benefit him anyways, so what's the point of even trying in the first place?
It's unclear what Hogan was trying to achieve with this lie. Was he trying to suggest that he was originally supposed to be a standout sole attraction in the segment, or is he trying to make WWE look bad by implying that they tried to keep him out of the loop? Number 2, he noticed Kevin Owens. One of the modern day wrestlers that Hulk Hogan seems to be a fan of is Kevin Owens. In fact, Hogan claimed that he saw his second match in NXT and informed WWE that Owens was the guy. During a radio interview in the UK, Hogan stated, I hate to brag about it, but I'm the first one to point the finger at Kevin Owens. I saw him on NXT like his second match, and I just saw him chop, beat, grind, and beating his guy down. Doing it the old school way and really understanding how to get heat.
Understanding how to get heat. I would like to ask the question, who is this wrestler that he's referring to? That he wrestled, by the way. I'd like to know. I don't know myself. Because, honestly, he must know a lot when he's always lying at the same time. You know where I'm coming from with that one.
It the old school way, and I said, that's the guy. I said, that's the guy. I don't care if he looks like a wrestler or looks like an ice cream salesman. I don't care, that's the guy. Hogan had zero power in the WWE at this point, and he wouldn't have been backstage at the NXT shows to influence any creative direction. Owens was already one of WWE's chosen guys at this point in time, and they were clearly getting ready to make him a huge deal in the company. This is an example of Hogan trying to make himself look as good as humanly possible, and as always, it backfired in a major and humiliating way.
Won't be the last time.
Andre passed away when? Hulk Hogan's appearance on MTV Cribs was noteworthy, especially the part of the show where Hogan showed off his own personal collection of wrestling memorabilia. Hogan would pick up a pair of iconic boots, and Hogan claimed that he wore the boots to wrestle the legendary Andre the Giant, and just days after, Andre sadly passed away.
What? You're telling me that after WrestleMania 3, 1987, that Andre passed away after that, like a few days later? What? He died in 1993. And you're trying to say that he died a few days after in 87? What?
Wrestled Andre in a singles match back in 1988, and Andre didn't even pass away until 1993. This lie is absurd, and it's unbelievable to think that Hogan thought that lying about something like this was okay. But this isn't the only lie Hogan has told about Andre over the years, as he previously claimed that Andre was almost 700 pounds when he body slammed him at WrestleMania 3. This is not the case, and anyone who was working for WWE at the time can debunk this claim, and even a fan using their own eyes can determine that Andre clearly isn't 700 pounds at the time of the matchup. But there you have it, folks, 10 of the most insane Hulk Hogan lines.
I like this when I was there for you every single day. I gave my heart, everything to you, but you decided to break it and run away. Just like everybody else, I don't understand. Just like everybody I know in my life. Life's too short to go around cry, but I don't understand this mindset, man. I just